Wow, it just glides through it like butter. That's really annoying. I'm just gonna cook this thing and see what happens. And it's kind of messy anyways. Welcome back everybody. Today I'm taking a look at 4 kitchen gadgets, 2 of them by request, 2 of them sent to me as samples. I'm honestly not sure if any of these are necessary, so that's what I'm gonna find out in today's video. When I was preparing this video, I kind of noticed all these are kind of similar shape. They all have handles, so they kind of seem like they all go together. I tested 2 of them out yesterday at my other place. Let's first flash back and see how that went. This is a replacement handle for broken handles, or it allows you to add a handle to a pot that doesn't have one in the first place. Let's flash back to the unboxing and then get started. I paid $14.99 for this. It can be used as a replacement handle or to add a handle to items that don't usually have handles. It can be used for pans or bowls with vertical edges, easy to install, no need to drill or screw. Some people on Amazon said this wasn't quite as secure as the original handles, but most people said they allowed them to continue using cookware that had broken or missing handles. All right, so I got a bunch of cookware here. I'm gonna try this on. Now, none of my existing pans need a replacement handle, but we can kind of just pretend that they do. And I've got a pot on the stove with some boiling water in there. I'm gonna try it in a real world situation and see how it works. So all you do is you put that over the lip and then crank the handle over until it locks in place. And then we should have what is basically a replacement handle. Let's see how sturdy that is. I would say that's pretty sturdy. Of course, it's empty though. Now to remove it, all you do is slide that back over, press this button. We're ready to go for the next one. And I got my old granite rock pan here, which was later renamed to granite stone, but I bought it when it was granite rock, so I'm calling it granite rock. But it's a little bit different type of a lip here. Let's see. So it goes over the lip. Crank it. Oh, that doesn't close very easily, but let's see. All right. This could be bad. Oh, it's slipping. Oh, it did slip a little bit. Oh, it's not perfect. It did slip a little bit. Let's try that one more time. I mean, you're not gonna be doing this, but okay, now it's sliding. It's sliding just a little bit. You can see it is slid. Does that matter? Is that realistic? I don't know. This is a much thinner lip than the other one, so maybe the thin is not good. I don't know. Let's keep going though. Here's a very small, I think this is about an 8-inch Paula Deen. Once again, just hook it over, crank it. Some people on Amazon were saying it's not as good as a normal handle. I can see that it does slide around a little bit, but it does seem sturdy enough to move things from place to place. All right, this is the heaviest pan I've got. This is the Beast Hex Clad. Look at the size of this thing. This thing is massive. It is the heaviest pan in my collection. Just kind of put it over the lip and crank it closed. Let's see, is it holding? I don't really trust it, but I guess it is holding. It's holding. I don't know if I have a total confidence in it, but it's holding. What about something like this old bake pan right here? Now it seems kind of loose because this is so thin. Even though it's kind of loose, it is kind of holding it though. That's really annoying. So I'll keep doing it. One more before our real world situation here. I've got this kind of pot here where this is a pretty pronounced lip here. Let's try this one. It fits over it quite well. Lock into place. It's a little bit loose, but I do think it would probably work in a pinch. All right, let's head over to the pot of boiling water for a real world situation. Hopefully I don't spill boiling water everywhere. Test this out and see how it works. All right, here we go. Let's try this out now. All right, it fits on the side pretty easily. It locks somewhat okay, but no way. There's no way this is gonna hold that. Look at that, it slips right off. Okay, well, so I tried, but pot of boiling water, that's a no-go on this one. It's just too heavy. Maybe 2 of them, but I don't know if I still trust it or not. All right, so in the end, I think it's gonna be situational if this actually works for you or not. I do think it would probably work on most pans. A big pot full of stuff, I'm not so sure about that. For smaller cookware, I think it's probably okay. If it's really thin, it may not hold it very well. If it's really big, it may not, so kind of be in there in the middle somewhere. So I do think that it has a place, but it's not perfect. Next up on my list is a stripper. Oh wait, not that kind of stripper. It's a corn stripper. This will peel or strip corn. Let's flash back to the unboxing and then get started. Now I don't have much information that says it was sent to me as a sample. All right, well it's a pretty nice looking design. I've seen some of these on Amazon with the same or similar design. Reviews seem to be kind of mixed about these types of gadgets, so I'll really be curious how it actually works. There's really no real consensus of whether this actually works or not, so can't wait to try it out and give you my opinion on how these work. All right, should be pretty simple, right? Now, I watched the instructional videos and how these supposedly work. I've never used one of these before, so let's give it a shot. I've got some corn right here. The way they showed it on the demonstrations is you go up and then back down again. People say that the key is to have a good grip on your corn. Although it's kind of dangerous having that close to your fingers, but we shall see anyways. Here we go, first test. And, oh wow, okay, that worked very well. The first pass went much better than I expected, so let's keep going. Wow, it just glides through it like butter. All right, that was just my first try. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. Let me try another one and see how well that goes. Try to go a little bit faster for this one. Now, they were showing it going up and then pushing back down, so let me try that. Up, push back down. I'm not sure the push back down does a whole lot, but let's see anyways. Man, it's pretty effective though. It's pretty effective. Let me try some more here. I'm just gonna go one direction. That seems like that's faster for me. I'm dropping some and Bailey's down there eating it. But look how fast that was. It's a very quick process. There we go, one more ear. You do need a good grip on there. But look how fast that was. Very quick. I'm kind of surprised about how well this works. All right, so I can see why this has pretty good ratings online because it does do what it's supposed to do very efficiently. It's a simple gadget. It does what it's supposed to do. I kind of like this one. Next up is this oven push puller gadget. This supposedly allows you to push or pull your oven rack without getting your hands burnt. Let's flash back to the unboxing and then get started. Now let's take a look at this oven rack push pull gadget. All right, so I paid $7.99 for this. It's very highly rated, 4.8 stars among over 500 reviews. They say it's ideal for small ovens where space is especially tight. Can be used to pull a rack out or push it back into place. Long handle keeps you safely away from all the heat. Heat resistant up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Dishwasher safe. Now reviews are universally positive for this, so I'll be curious to see how it works. All right, so they say it's kind of designed more for smaller countertop ovens, but I want to try it on both types, so smaller and larger. In fact, I tried it on the Ninja Foodie oven first over at my other place, and here's how that went. Now they say it's ideal for small appliances like this one because it's a little bit cramped. You easily burn your hands. I have burned my hands on this before. You reach in there and gonna grab that rack. I have burned my hand with an oven mitt before because you're still touching that. You can use something like an oven mitt or hot hands, but that's very bulky. It's kind of tough to get in there. It's still kind of cramped. So that's where this supposedly comes in and comes to the rescue and solves the problem. So you can just pull your rack out easily, get your stuff off there, push it back in. Your hands are nowhere near the danger zone. Pretty simple. The only problem is if you have something like the basket in there, it's a little bit more difficult. I guess you could kind of, it's not ideal. I mean, it doesn't really latch onto it, but you can still use it kind of in the same capacity. It's not as good, but it still works, I guess. Let's head back and try it on the full-size oven and see how it works there. All right, so I've got my big oven preheated. I've got my Tovala over there. I'm not sure if it will work with a Brava or not, but we'll try it there as well. So let's try all three of these and see how it goes. Now this has been preheated. It's at 445 degrees, so just under their limit of 450. As you can see, it's nice and toasty in there. Nice and toasty. Now normally with an oven mitt, you would reach in there and you're kind of even still getting your arms near there, but with this, it looks like you can just kind of pull it out and push it back in. Pull it out and push it back in. I guess it kind of works, right? It's pretty simple. I mean, there's not a lot to it, really. There really isn't a lot to it. But it does seem to do what it's supposed to do. I mean, I'm not even wearing any gloves, and it seems like I'm pulling these racks out okay. So, you know, maybe it does work. I know, something like the Brava, I'm just not sure how it would work, because we do have a rack in here. But, I mean, I guess you could pull it out, but it doesn't seem ideal for this. Let me try the glass tray. I mean, at this point, you could use pretty much anything, because you're not even really taking advantage of the hook part of it. But, I mean, it does work. I just don't know if it's really designed for this. On the other hand, if you reach your hand in there with an oven mitt, this is pretty hot. Doing it like this does get you away from there. I don't know, maybe it works. Now this one I think I actually burned my hand on before. I think I had a pot holder on the oven mitt reaching right there. This is all hot. So in this case, it seems to work pretty well. And I'm not sure if this is really supposed to do this, but I want to know what happens if I hang this on that rack for a little while. Will that damage the material or not? Let's find out. I'm just gonna hang it on there for a few minutes, see what happens. They say it can handle up to 450 degrees. I say have the oven set at 445, so it should be no problem, right? Now I know it's supposed to be mainly used for just pulling it and pushing it for a few seconds, but what happens if it has extended contact for some reason? Nice and warm here. Well, no marks the first time. Let me try this. I'm gonna put it in this, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna put it in the oven completely. I'm just gonna cook this thing and see what happens. All right, it's been a couple minutes. Let's see what we got here. I know it's not even designed for this, but let's see. It's very hot, but I don't see a lot of marks. I guess it can withstand the heat. All right, so I'm sure there's gonna be some debate in the comments whether something like this is necessary or not. I'm sure there's other things in the kitchen you might be able to use in place of this, but on its own merits, I will say that it does work. And for my last item, I've got this, which is kind of a familiar looking device. It's a lemon juicer squeezer, but it's got multiple functions, and I haven't seen one quite this designed before. I don't really have an unboxing for it because it just came in bubble wrap, but here's the features. You've got, on this end, you've got a reamer, which is good for juicing. Down here, you've got a pulp and seed catcher. You can remove the reamer off this side to expose the next tool here, but you can actually take the entire handle off. And here you've got a channel knife and a zester built right in. The channel knife seems like it just kind of goes along here, which, I mean, that's pretty effective. That seems like it works pretty well, like it's supposed to. Now the zester on the other side, let's see how that works. Okay, I'm getting something off of it. Yeah, okay. There are other tools that do this, but it's kind of nice to have it built into something else. I wouldn't buy it for this, but it's nice to have it. I mean, this is pretty standard. You just put the reamer in there and squeeze and twist. But wait, we want to make sure we get the seeds and the pulp in this thing, so maybe at an angle here. I'm still getting seeds in there. I'm still getting seeds in there, even with the catcher there. And it's kind of messy anyways. I mean, it does work. I didn't catch hardly anything in there. Let me try another one. Let's see what we got here. I want to catch these seeds in the pulp. All right, well, hey, I caught them this time. We have seeds caught in the seed catcher. I even caught some pulp, so it did work. Let me try a little bit more. Now that was a good sized lemon. How about a really small one like this one? Let's see. You know, I'm getting a lot of juice out, so it's certainly working. I'm not catching much pulp, but I did get a lot of juice out of there. Let me try it opposite handed. Maybe that'll be easier for me. The first couple I feel like maybe I didn't do as well on. I feel like I'm getting better on these small ones. Let me move back to a bigger one and try that one again. All right, this one's got plenty of seeds in there. Let me try it one more time. I'm gonna see if I can catch them in here. I'm not gonna move this hand at all. I'm just gonna hold it in place. Lots of juice. The juice is real. Okay, got juice coming out. I see some seeds going in there. We got seeds again. I think it works. I think it's working. Now I know these are mainly for lemons, but out of curiosity, I gotta find out if you can use this for an orange or not. I mean, it does seem like it's kind of working. And of course, it might look there weren't that many seeds in this particular orange. Is this a seedless orange? It might be. All right, I guess it does kind of work on an orange too. So there you go. All right, so I guess it may be necessary, I don't know, but it does seem like it does do what it's supposed to do, although there's other things that do this probably as well or better. But if this design appeals to you, it does seem to work in my experience. So to answer the question that was posed in the beginning of this video, if any of these are actually necessary or not, I would say it depends on your situation. I'm not sure if every kitchen needs these, but some people will. If you squeeze a lot of lemons, this might do well for you. If you have some beloved pans that have broken handles, this would be a great choice. If you peel a lot of corn, this would be good too. And if you're always burning your hands on your countertop oven, this might fit the bill. They're situational at best, but they do seem to work for some people some of the time. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.